Welcome to Lunch Break Reviews. I'm Bradley Butin, your self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, here to dive into the best and sometimes the worst of pop culture. Each week, I'll spotlight one movie, TV show, comic, or something from the realms of awesomeness and put it through the lunch break point system, rating everything from its main course to its leftover appeal. We'll cover a couple of reviews, the box office buzz, and my own take on whether this movie deserves a place in your lunch break lineup. All in about 30 minutes or less. For more reviews on TV shows and comics, check out Quick Bites on TikTok, YouTube, and on your podcast feed throughout the week. Now let's get right into it. We're going to start off with a little bit of cafeteria gossip. What's going on in the realms of awesomeness? This is today's nerd news. I got a couple of things here. Caitlin Dever is going to star in Godzilla X Kong follow-up movie. Scary Movie reboot will get a summer 2026 release. And yes, it may be Brightest Day or Blackest Night. Lanterns cast Sinestro. Danish actor Ulrich Thomsen will play the iconic DC villain. That does smell some trouble. So the question is, for me, I'm a big Lanterns fan. If they're already going straight to Jon Stewart, will this be the Yellow Lantern Sinestro, or will we get Green Lantern Sinestro first? Who knows? But let's move right along, because 30 minutes is not a lot of time. Where do I know them from? Let's play a little game here. This is going to be, I'm going to talk about an actress or actor, and we're going to go over what they're known for, other movies, where we saw them, because I'm going over Section 31 today. So we're going to take an actor that you may not recognize. Her name is Casey Roll, and she's known for White Lies, Hannibal, Section 31, of course, and Wayward Pines. Previous credits that she has is White Dog, The Magicians, Fortunate Son, Arrow, Killer High, Once Upon a Time, iZombie, The Good Doctor, Red Riding Hood, Fringe, The Client List, Caprica, and V. All right, we're going to go right into Star Trek Section 31. So it was a movie that came out on January 24th of 2025, and you can stream it right now on Paramount Plus. And the IMDb ratings is a 4.0 out of 10, with there's 4.9 thousand reviews. Rotten Tomatoes has this listed at a 23% with a popcorn meter, or on the tomato meter at 23% and a popcorn meter at 18%. Here is the IMDb synopsis. In Star Trek Section 31, Emperor Philippa Georgiou joins a secret division of Starfleet, tasked with protecting the United Federation of Planets, and must face the sins of her past. Ooh, okay. This was directed by Olatunde Asunami. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, because I probably am. This is written by Craig Sweeney, Bo Yeon Kim, Erica Lapolte. Main cast is Michelle Yao, Amari Hardwick, Robert Kaczynski, Casey Roll, Humberly Gonzalez, and McHugh Martineau. The critics' consensus from Rotten Tomatoes is, I picked the critic J. Brian Lauder from Slate. While it's now unavoidable and unfortunately canon, let's hope Section 31 was just a stumble on the way to better and bolder things. If this is what the Federation's underbelly really looks like, I'd rather it stay in the dark. Well said. Well said. I like it. All right, let's go ahead and get into some reviews. Here's my quick little disclaimer. These reviews are chosen based on title alone and I haven't read through them beforehand. So let's dive in together. Please excuse any mispronunciations as I read them exactly as they appear. Punctuation, quirks, and all. We're going to start with a bad review from Steven is Scott. This is a 1 out of 10, and it's a bad review for sure. And this is titled Worst Ocean's 11 Sequel Ever. Whoever at Paramount approved this needs to be forcefully ejected into the mirror universe. After a promising origin story opening of everyone's favorite psychopathic emperor, the tone shifts to amateur hour with the worst voiceover imaginable. Probably hasn't seen Madam Web then. There's no gravitas. There's no shame. It sounds like a cheap role-playing game intro. As embarrassing that is for such an iconic franchise, it gets even worse. You can almost hear the hustle music as Danny Ocean enters the casino with his crew. Sorry, the Area 31 crack team overreact as Michelle Yeoh does everything she can to save any potential in this appalling scenario. Even she cannot save this mess. If you have fond memories of high quality scripts, acting, and plot, do not forget the love of triples. Waste your precious time with this. Abomination. How dare they do this to a beloved character, actor, premise. All right, let's keep riding the bad train. Here's another bad review. This is from John Carey 1977 and is another 1 out of 10. And is titled The Franchise Hits Warp Speed into a Dumpster Fire. Yeah. Star Trek, Section 31, a movie so profoundly unnecessary that even die-hard Trekkies are probably wondering if this was some kind of tax write-off. I love it. Paramount, in their infinite wisdom, decided to take one of the most nuanced, morally complex aspects of Trek lore, the shady espionage wing of Starfleet, and throw it into the creative equivalent of Blender filled with fireworks, plot holes, and Michael Bay DVDs. I love you, John Carey. You are amazing. I love this review. The result, an unholy cocktail of noise, explosions, and groany-worthy dialogue that's about as Star Trek as Monster Truck Rally held on Vulcan. Star Trek fans deserve better. Let's just agree to jettison this one into the nearest sun and never speak of it again. Okay. All right. I got another bad review, and this one is a little bit longer, but let's check it out. This is from Gatsby 11344 and is another 1 out of 10 and is titled, I expected nothing, yet I was still disappointed. Warning, spoilers. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. From an IRL standpoint, the camera work is shoddy at best with random shaky cam footage to questionable cuts to weird twirls and spins, obviously added in post. The dialogue is meh at best and just straight painful at worst. Half of the plot makes no sense, and the characters make huge jumps to conclusions with no real evidence. And the action set pieces are akin to 60s Trek with modern Marvel camera work. 10 minutes in, and the movie doesn't even flow its own logic. And background music doesn't fit a lot of the time. There's a couple of times at the end of the thankfully short film where the main Star Trek theme swell in extremely undeserved grandeur, and two characters that have shown almost nothing but disdain for each other have a moment with each other that is never addressed again. Established characters in canon do nothing to keep their established personalities, and oftentimes their new personalities conflict with what the audience already knows. My mother, who is not into Trek or action-heavy movies, asked halfway through, "Is this the new Marvel movie?" And I, a lifelong Trekkie, had to actually think if it was, and I just read the title wrong. Okay. From a Trekkie and canon standpoint, the movie still makes no damn sense. 1. Philippa had her full title when San, who the TF is this, killed himself, meaning Lorca, Burnham, and Saru at least should have been around or mentioned in passing. She also would not have cared in the slightest about his death. 2. From Garrett's perspective, Philippa would have been 122 years old as Garrett would have read about her at the Academy when covering the first Klingon Federation War. 122 years old isn't unheard of in Star Trek, but Philippa would not have looked that good. McCoy was 136, the 1701D, when the 170D was commissioned. The movie takes place in 2324. The 1701B was commissioned in 2293, meaning it likely would have been at the tail end of her service. So why would the Federation not send their flagship to deal with a full-scale incursion from the microverse? Even if the 1701B wasn't active, the 1701C would have been in active service, so the question still stands. 4. Why, oh why, would the Federation send a 24-year-old lieutenant science officer on a universe-threatening mission? 5. You're telling me that Garrett ranked up to lieutenant commander after one 4-hour mission that Starfleet and the Federation would have classified? 6. Why is Control still around? 7. If there was no Enterprise active during this time, why? How? Why wouldn't Starfleet send a full armada to the nebula? They would have been aware of the microverse for at least 57 years. They would have been aware of the threat it posed. 8. The Vulcan android was stupid beyond belief. Data, lore, and B4 were not known to Starfleet or the Federation at this time. So how was there a fully autonomous Vulcan android just walking around chilling? 9. How could the Terran Empire even muster the ships and strength it would need for an incursion? By 2370, the Terran Empire had completely collapsed. But just 46 years earlier, they were willing to attempt to take over a new reality? 10. Than's final line. The whole bloody point of the Mirrorverse is there is no mercy. Cobra Kai, anybody? And lastly, 11. Would Philippa really not let the cat out of the bag about Burnham and Discovery? Really? Everything we've seen about Philippa is that she DGAF about the rules and a chance to cause chaos again by letting Section 31 know what actually happened to Discovery would be her wet dream. We lost lower decks for this? Paramount, you will never see a single speck of Latinium from me ever again. Joining the Orions because yo ho ho, a pirate life for me. Woo, that was a long one. But you know what? That's into the bad. Let's get on with the good. This is from Click Quote C, a 10 out of 10, and called Love the Spin. I think this is a great take and breath of fresh air in the Star Trek universe. It does not address complex social issues like the Orville, but I found the story extremely entertaining. This isn't for the purest nerds. This is a show built to bring in a new, younger audience, and I'm all for it. The comedy is spot on and new age. The acting, for what it's worth, was reasonable. The characters could use a lot more development, but I'm only one episode one as I'm writing this. When it's a movie. Okay, I had to check this site out because I just knew the old school fans would hate it and tear this apart. This is to Star Trek what Fallen Order was to Star Wars. Yeah, I'm going to say no. You didn't even know it was a movie. Okay. All right. Here's another good review. All right. This is from Stek Mansky, and this is a 9 out of 10 and is called I've watched Star Trek for 33 years and loved it. There are a lot of people whining it's not Star Trek, and it's not. It's Section 31. I actually really liked the movie and thought it was better than anything in the Kelvin timeline. It wasn't supposed to be traditional Trek story because Section 31 is anything but traditional Star Trek. I think overall the acting was pretty good and the character development for such a short movie was on point. The action did seem forced at times, but I thought it was a good story and enjoyed the TV movie for what it was, a TV movie. Too many people get stuck in this narrow mold of what Star Trek should or should not be. Maybe just try enjoying the story for what it is. Anyway, personally, I'd love to see future stories about Section 31 and hope this isn't the last of them. Okay, let's go put this on the lunch break point system, and then I will go over here's my thoughts. I thought it was garbage. I thought this movie sucked. It should have been a TV show, so it could have developed more. I didn't have enough time to care about the characters. With all that said, now let's put on the lunch break point system, and we're going to start off with the main course, the overall quality. From 1 to 5 points, 1 point would be unappetizing mess, struggles to even hold together. A 5 would be a masterpiece, leaves you full and craving more. Okay, I'm at a 1, but let's see, what would a 2 be? Bland and uninspired, missing key ingredients. It does. Can I give this a 2? Yes, I will go ahead and give this a 2 for the main course, just because I really don't want to give it a 1. Okay. On number 2, side dish, supporting elements. Okay, 5 would be outstanding sides that elevate this entire meal to another level. It's not there. Let's look at a 3. A 3 is some solid moments, but inconsistent or overshadowed. I think we could probably reach there because Michelle Yeoh's good in it. Some of the actors, I like Casey Rawl in it a lot. That's why I used her for my actor spotlight. So we will give this a 3. All right, and for spice level, this is for creativity and boldness. A 1 would be bland and unoriginal, no risk taken. A 5 would be a red hot creativity, a daring and unforgettable experience. Well, it definitely wasn't a 5. I think it's better than a 1 as well. A 2 would be mildly interesting, but nothing stands out. I'm there because you know what? I watched this last night and I was fighting sleep. And Star Trek shouldn't do that to me because I'm a huge nerd. Leftover appeal. This is for rewatch replay value. For 5 points, it needs to be timeless, something you'll crave again and again. For 1 point, there's no interest in revisiting. Once was more than enough. I can't argue with that. There is no leftover appeal here. And my final is going to be dessert, emotional satisfaction. Okay. For 5 points for dessert, a perfect treat, an unforgettable cherry on top. No. 1 point. Bitter aftertaste leaves you unsatisfied. It did. I can't help it. Let's go ahead. Let's count this up. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points in the total. 9 points out of 25 points. This is going to be the forgettable cafeteria tray. All right, there it is. It's on there forever. Let's talk a little bit about anticipations of next week. I got a bunch of comics that I got to get caught up on. Yeah, Absolute Batman 4. There'll be a quick bite about that. Absolute Wonder Woman number 4. There'll be a quick bite about that. I'm hoping for this week. The Traders, love that show. Love it every week. It's awesome. Deal or No Deal Island and The Rookie. That's what I'm looking forward to. Some upcoming movie releases coming up. We got The Companion and Dogman and Love Hurts on the coming up. I'm not really looking forward to Dogman. I actually scared shitless about Dogman. Where would you rank this week's Spotlight movie? Do you agree with my ratings using the lunch break point system? And which movie do you think will win the box office race this week? There's not a lot out there, so Flight Risk it probably is. All right. You can follow me at Nerd Positive. You can go to YouTube at Nerd Positive 1, TikTok at Nerd Positive 1, or at movies.bs or Instagram at the Pandemic 1. If you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/nerdpositive or patreon.com/nerdpositive. Join the Council of Nerds. That's a wrap. We got it under 30 minutes. We're under 20 minutes. Look at that. All right. So thanks for tuning in, joining me. Acclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Buchanan. If you enjoyed today's dive into the realms of awesomeness, hits, and misses, don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Catch my quick bites throughout the week on TikTok and YouTube and further exploration of the realms of awesomeness. Until next time, keep watching, keep reading, and keep being awesome. See you next Sunday, same time, same place, for another edition of Lunch Break Reviews. Have a good day.